What if the key to better blood flow and intimacy isn't in a pill, but in your fridge? I'm Dr. James Ellison. After over 60 years treating older men as a urologist and wellness expert, I've discovered that many of the struggles men face in their 60s and beyond, from poor circulation to fading intimacy, are linked to one root issue: neglected blood flow. Prescription meds and supplements often miss the mark, but certain everyday vegetables, they quietly do the job, without side effects. Today I'll show you 4 powerful foods that help improve pelvic circulation, support healthy testosterone, reduce inflammation, revive confidence and connection. And no, this isn't hype. This is science-backed, experience-proven nutrition. Why aren't more people talking about this? In today's video, I'll show you exactly which 4 vegetables older men should be eating right now to unclog arteries, increase pelvic blood flow, and revive the intimacy they thought was lost forever. No gimmicks, no hype, just time-tested, science-backed nutritional healing straight from the earth to your plate. And stick with me because in just a moment, I'll explain how one of these vegetables helped a 68-year-old man reverse years of circulation decline in just 30 days. His story might just change your life too. Before we jump into the next vegetable, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. I share practical doctor-backed tips to help men over 60 stay strong, sharp, and intimately alive. And if this video is helping you so far, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're with me. If not, type 0. I'm always looking to improve these lessons just for you. Let's start with the first vegetable, and trust me, you'll never look at it the same again. 1. Beets, the natural vasodilator. When I first started practicing medicine, I underestimated the power of food. But over the years, I've seen some of the most dramatic health turnarounds begin not with pills, but with something as simple as a vegetable, specifically beets. I remember one patient, Harold, a retired school teacher in his early 70s. He came into my office frustrated. His energy was low, his hands and feet were often cold. And most painfully, his connection with his wife had faded. He wasn't looking for miracles, just something real. I told him to start roasting beets 3 times a week. No supplements, no prescriptions, just beets. Why? Because beets are rich in dietary nitrates. When you eat them, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, a natural compound that relaxes and expands your blood vessels. This process is called vasodilation, and it's one of the most critical keys to improving blood flow. And not just to your hands or your heart, but to your pelvic region where so much of your intimacy begins. Think about it. Blood flow is what fuels sensation, performance, and stamina. Without it, everything else falls flat. But when circulation is restored, older men often report more than just physical improvement. They say their confidence comes back. They feel more connected to their partners. They feel more alive. Harold called me a month later. "Doc," he said, "I didn't expect much, but something's different."
I feel better, stronger. My wife, she noticed too. That's the real power of beets. They don't just support your heart. They help bring life back into your relationships. They clean out the small, often neglected blood vessels that matter most for men after 60. And they do it naturally, without side effects, without risk. So, if you're sitting there wondering whether a vegetable can really make a difference in your intimate health, I can tell you from experience, it absolutely can. You just have to start. But beets are just the beginning. There's another vegetable, often overlooked, easy to add to any meal that not only opens up blood vessels, but actually boosts testosterone and improves bedroom performance in a very specific way. You won't believe how simple it is. Let's talk about it next. If you're still here and these insights are giving you hope or clarity, type 1 in the comments so I know you're with me. Now, let's keep going because what's coming next might surprise you even more. 2. Spinach, the bedroom leaf. I'll be honest with you, spinach used to be the last thing on my plate. I never gave it much thought until I started noticing a pattern with some of my older patients, men in their 60s and 70s who were struggling with intimacy, low energy, weak responses, and a growing sense of disconnect from their partners. At first glance, it seemed like age was just catching up. But when I looked deeper, I found something fascinating. The ones who included leafy greens like spinach in their regular diet, they were performing better physically, emotionally, intimately. That's when I really started paying attention. Spinach is a natural source of magnesium and folate, two critical nutrients for vascular health. Magnesium helps relax and widen blood vessels, making it easier for blood to flow. This is especially important for men over 60 because as we age, our arteries tend to stiffen and narrow. That reduced circulation doesn't just affect the heart, it impacts the ability to maintain a strong, lasting connection in the bedroom. Folate, on the other hand, supports the production of nitric oxide just like beets, and also plays a role in maintaining healthy testosterone levels. I remember a patient named Greg. He was 68. Recently widowed and had started dating again. But he confided in me during a routine visit that he felt embarrassed. His body wasn't responding the way it used to. I recommended he start adding spinach into his breakfast every morning. Just a handful sautéed or blended into a smoothie. 6 weeks later, he returned with a different energy. "Doc," he told me, "I didn't expect miracles, but something's working. I feel like I can show up fully again. Not just physically, but emotionally too." That's the thing about spinach. It quietly repairs what time tries to wear down. It doesn't just help blood move more freely through your body. It brings vitality back to parts of you that may have felt forgotten. And that boost in circulation, it can reignite more than just your physical connection. It can restore your sense of self. But the next vegetable I want to share with you is even more surprising. It's not leafy, it's not flashy, and it doesn't even look like much. But it has the rare ability to clear out the smallest blood vessels in your body. And if you ignore it, you might be blocking your chances at a healthier, more fulfilling, intimate life. Let me tell you what it is. 3. Garlic. The silent artery cleaner. Let me tell you something I've seen too many times to count. A man walks into my clinic, late 60s, early 70s, healthy on the surface, but struggling silently behind closed doors. Blood pressure's up, stamina's down, and intimacy is becoming more of a memory than a reality. They usually expect me to write a prescription, but what I often tell them is this: start with garlic. Most men don't realize that intimacy problems after 60 aren't always about hormones or desire. It's about blood flow. And garlic, humble as it may be, is one of the most powerful natural tools we have to clean and open those blood vessels again. It contains allicinin, a compound that relaxes the arteries and reduces plaque buildup. When those tiny vessels that lead to your pelvic region are clogged, it doesn't matter what you feel in your mind, your body just won't follow. Garlic helps break through those blocks. There's one patient in particular I'll never forget. His name was Leonard, 74 years old. He was a proud grandfather, sharp as ever, but confided that he felt like something inside him had shut down. "It's like the lights are on, but the wires are frayed," he said. I asked him to start adding fresh garlic to his meals 5 days a week. Nothing fancy, just a clove or two, crushed and cooked gently into his food. 2 months later, he walked back in with a grin that said it all. "Doc," he said, "I didn't know garlic could do that. I feel clearer, lighter, and my wife says I'm smiling a lot more these days." That's the beauty of garlic. It works quietly without fanfare, but its impact is anything but small. It opens what time and cholesterol have narrowed. It brings warmth back to areas where circulation had gone cold. And it's not just about performance. It's about feeling whole again, strong again, like a man who still has fire in him. And as powerful as garlic is, the next vegetable might be even more essential: especially for protecting a part of the male body that most men ignore until it's too late. It's juicy, it's red, and it's probably already in your kitchen, but its effects on intimacy and longevity might just surprise you. Let's talk about it next. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're here and still with me. Now let's move forward to the fourth and final vegetable. It could be the most important one yet. 4. Tomatoes, the prostate protector. If there's one thing I wish more older men took seriously before it became a problem, it's their prostate. You'd be amazed how many intimate struggles I see in my office that trace back to this small, overlooked gland. And one of the simplest, most effective tools I found to support it, tomatoes. Now I know it sounds too easy, but tomatoes are rich in a powerful antioxidant called lycopene, and lycopene has been shown in multiple studies to support prostate health, reduce inflammation, and even lower the risk of enlargement and cancer. But what many men don't realize is that a healthy prostate is directly tied to their ability to enjoy intimacy. When the prostate is inflamed, it can compress nearby nerves and blood vessels, limiting sensation, restricting circulation, and interfering with the body's natural response during moments of closeness. I remember one gentleman, Howard, a 66-year-old former firefighter, strong-willed, proud, and deeply frustrated by his declining function. He told me he was tired of feeling like less of a man, tired of waking up at night to use the bathroom, and tired of feeling distant from his wife. We made a simple change. He started adding cooked tomatoes to his meals 5 days a week. Tomato soup, marinara sauce, even grilled tomatoes on toast. Nothing extreme, just consistency. 2 months later, his PSA numbers dropped. He slept through the night for the first time in years. And more importantly, he looked me in the eye and said, "I feel like myself again." My wife said, "I've been different lately." In a good way. That's what tomatoes can do. They don't just protect your prostate. They free up the blood flow, restore nerve sensitivity, and take pressure off the systems that support a healthy, responsive, intimate life. They bring back ease. They bring back comfort. And for many men, they bring back joy in their most personal relationships. But here's what's most important, and it's the part most men overlook. These vegetables aren't just about nutrients. They represent a turning point, a choice. And what happens when you combine them, commit to them, and make them part of your daily life? That's where everything changes. Let's talk about exactly what that means and what it could do for your health, your confidence, and your future. So what's the takeaway here? The truth is, when most men cross the age of 60, they begin to feel like time is working against them. They notice their energy dropping, their connection fading, and their confidence slipping through their fingers. But what if I told you that aging doesn't have to mean losing your strength, your passion, or your intimacy? What if something as ordinary as what's on your plate could start to reverse what's happening inside your body? That's exactly what we've explored today. Beets, spinach, garlic, and tomatoes. They're not just healthy vegetables. They're targeted tools that repair blood vessels, relax arteries, lower inflammation, support testosterone, and reduce pressure on the prostate. These aren't just nutrients. They're nature's medicine for circulation, confidence, and closeness. I've worked with hundreds of men who thought their best years were behind them. But when they started giving their body the nourishment it was craving, something changed. Their mood lifted, their strength returned, and slowly their relationships deepened because they felt alive again, not just in body, but in spirit. Intimacy isn't just about performance, it's about presence. It's about the feeling of being whole, seen, and strong in the moments that matter. And these 4 vegetables, when added regularly to your meals, have the power to reignite that spark. They work together to open the pathways that time and lifestyle may have narrowed. They give your body the chance to function the way it's supposed to, and that changes everything. So, if you've ever felt frustrated, discouraged, or disconnected, I want you to remember this. It's not too late. Your body hasn't given up on you. It just needs the right support to come back to life. You have the tools. Now it's about making the choice to use them. But the journey doesn't end here, because in just a moment, I'll share with you the emotional truth I've learned after decades of working with older men. The one mindset shift that makes all the difference between those who thrive in their later years and those who simply grow old. Don't miss this. It might change how you see everything. Final thoughts. You're not done yet. You're just getting started. If you've stayed with me this far, then I want to speak to you from the heart. Not as a doctor, but as someone who spent a lifetime listening to men like you. Men who've worked hard, raised families, survived setbacks, and given their best. And somewhere along the line, many of them started believing that slowing down, losing strength, or letting go of intimacy was just the cost of growing old. I'm here to tell you, it's not. What we've talked about today isn't just about vegetables, it's about choice, about reclaiming something you might not have even realized you were losing. Circulation, energy, vitality, connection. I've treated thousands of men over the years, and the most powerful transformations I've seen didn't begin in a pharmacy. They began in the kitchen at the dinner table with the simple decision to nourish the body in a way that supports the heart, the blood, the nerves, and yes, even the soul. Beets help open your vessels and fuel blood flow. Spinach brings oxygen and testosterone back into your cells. Garlic clears out the silent blockages that stand between you and real intimacy. And tomatoes. Those sweet, simple fruits protect the very gland that governs your pleasure and your sense of manhood. These aren't just foods. They are a message from nature that it's never too late to take care of yourself. And it's never too late to feel more alive. You see, I've sat across from men who had nearly given up, who thought they had to live with fatigue, dysfunction, or emotional distance as if it were some inevitable sentence. And then they changed just one thing. They ate better. They moved a little more. They believed they still had life left in them, and what followed was remarkable. Not because they became younger, but because they became more present, more engaged, more whole. You're not broken. You're not finished. You're not past your prime. Your body is still working for you. It may be a little slower, a little stiffer, a little quieter, but it hasn't given up, and neither should you. You've got more to give, more to feel, more to enjoy. Whether it's a walk with your partner, laughter with your grandchildren, or that quiet, personal moment of connection that reminds you who you are, you deserve to have all of it. And it starts with how you take care of yourself today. So, I want to leave you with this. You don't need to make drastic changes, just small, consistent steps. Add those 4 vegetables to your meals. Start listening to your body not as something failing, but as something asking for support. Give it what it needs. Treat it like something worth caring for because it is. And if this message has stirred something in you, then let it be the start of something new. Not a diet, not a routine, but a shift in how you see your health, your age, and your future. You're not just surviving this chapter of life. You're rewriting it. And if you're wondering what else you can do to stay strong, intimate, and confident in the years ahead, just wait. Because in the next video, we'll go even deeper into how circulation, hormones, and lifestyle choices work together, and what every man over 60 must know to keep his edge well into his 70s and beyond. You won't want to miss it. If this video spoke to you, even just a little, don't leave without subscribing and turning on the bell. I'm here to guide you with real advice that honors your age, your strength, and your journey. And if you're ready to take control of your health, type "I'm not done" in the comments. Let's age powerfully together.